January 15, 2025, News Report 1. On January 11, Hu Xijin, former editor-in-chief of the Global Times, posted on his Weibo account demanding that China's three major telecom operators, China Mobile, China Telecom, and China Unicom, publicly respond to issues related to telecom fraud in Myanmar. His comments sparked widespread discussion. Hu Xijin pointed out that mobile phone numbers are a core tool for telecom fraud syndicates. He mentioned that in 2023, thousands of SIM cards bound for Myanmar were seized in Yunnan province. He also noted that China, as the country with the largest number of mobile phone users globally, has implemented a nationwide real name registration system for mobile phones. However, fraud syndicates have been able to operate on a large scale using virtual identities, suggesting there may be internal management loopholes or even insiders within the telecom operators. Hu Xijin sharply questioned, do China's telecom companies have better technological means to cut off the channels that fraud syndicates use to obtain phone numbers from the source? Netizens also raised concerns, criticizing the three telecom giants for being slow to take action against fraud. For example, some people pointed out that when crossing the Chaobai River in Yanjiao, their phones would immediately receive a "Welcome to Hebei" prompt, indicating that location accuracy could reach within 10 meters. Similarly, WeChat can accurately pinpoint users' locations, but why have telecom operators not used these technologies to prevent fraud SIM cards from flowing into Myanmar? News Report 2. On January 15, the Ministry of Public Security of China issued a statement on its official website, announcing that it would thoroughly investigate cases of Chinese citizens going missing or being trapped abroad. The Ministry of Public Security stated that it would coordinate rescue efforts with the assistance of Chinese embassies and consulates. However, some netizens pointed out that many families of the missing had already sought help from relevant authorities online as early as last year or even the year before but had seen no official action. While this latest statement is necessary, it has also been criticized as belated. It is noteworthy that in August 2023, the government of Fujian province responded to a citizen's query on its official website, stating that Chinese embassies and consulates do not have asylum rights. The response emphasized that citizens facing difficulties abroad can request assistance from embassies and consulates but cannot seek refuge within them, to avoid complicating matters or even triggering diplomatic disputes. This official response has sparked dissatisfaction among netizens, who believe it reflects indifference to ordinary citizens and serves as a reminder for Chinese citizens abroad to remain vigilant and avoid dangerous situations. News Report 3. On January 15, the Shanghai People's Congress convened, and the city's government press office announced that following this year's meeting, Shanghai's Mayor Gong Zheng would not hold a press conference. This decision marks a departure from previous years when Mayor Gong Zheng held press conferences after the meeting's conclusion. In fact, since last year, the premier's press conference following China's two sessions has also been cancelled. Public opinion generally holds that cancelling press conferences reflects the government's reduced willingness to face media questions. Comments have pointed out that while recent press conferences in China retain a symbolic openness, the question and answer sessions have been strictly controlled, making it difficult for journalists to raise substantive issues. Now, this symbolic openness is gradually fading. Analysts suggest that Shanghai's decision to cancel the mayor's press conference may reflect a tendency among government officials to minimize the risks of public communication, particularly in the face of sensitive issues or complex economic conditions. News Report 4. On January 15, the Guangdong Provincial People's Congress convened, and Governor Wang Weizhong, in his government work report, announced that Guangdong's GDP had exceeded 14 trillion yuan in 2024, ranking first in the country for 36 consecutive years. However, this figure has sparked controversy. Analysts pointed out that Guangdong's economic growth rate in 2023 was only 3.1%, failing to meet the target of 5% set at the beginning of the year. Despite ranking first in GDP, the actual growth was weak. Moreover, Wang Weizhong stated that the target growth rate for 2024 was around 5%, but this has been met with skepticism, as the economic pressure remains substantial. Discussions about Guangdong's economic situation have also emerged on social media. A video comparing the crowds at Guangzhou railway station during the Spring Festival travel rush 20 years ago and now has drawn attention. The video shows that, while the station was packed 20 years ago, it now appears deserted, indicating that many migrant workers returned home earlier in October or November, reflecting a poor employment situation. Analysts believe that the economic performance of Guangdong's core cities, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Foshan, has not met expectations in recent years, contributing to the province's overall economic weakness. Some commentators noted that the current economic pressure in Guangdong is related to certain policies and governance methods, and that more reforms and innovative measures are needed to boost confidence and vitality. News Report 5. On the morning of January 15, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol was arrested by the South Korean high-ranking Public Officials Crime Investigation Unit, also known as Gongjo. After the arrest, he was interrogated for 10 hours, from 11 a.m. to 9:40 p.m. As per Yoon's request, the interrogation was not recorded on video. Under South Korean law, Gongjo can hold Yoon for 48 hours. Given that the interrogation produced 200 pages of material, Gongjo stated it would not be able to complete the investigation within the 48-hour limit and would apply to the court for an extension of the detention order. If approved, the detention could be extended to 20 days. During the arrest operation, Yoon's supporters gathered outside the Gongjo building to protest. A man in his 60s self-immolated and has been hospitalized in critical condition. Gongjo revealed that the arrest of Yoon was successful due to the deployment of 3,000 police officers, a significant increase from the 130 officers involved in the first operation, demonstrating their firm determination. The president's guard did not resist during the second operation. News Report 6. On January 14, a court in the Democratic Republic of Congo sentenced 3 Chinese nationals to 7 years in prison and imposed a fine of $600,000. The 3 were convicted of illegal mining, fraud, money laundering, and robbery. This is the first conviction of foreigners for illegal mining in Congo. It is reported that the 3 Chinese nationals were arrested on January 4 while attempting to smuggle 10 gold bars and $400,000 in cash out of Congo. The Congolese government has intensified its crackdown on illegal mining in recent years. In 2021, the government suspended operations at 6 Chinese companies, citing their lack of permits for gold mining. Prosecutors stated that this sentence would serve as a deterrent to foreign illegal mining activities. The defendants' lawyers stated they would appeal the verdict. News Report 7. According to Xinhua News Agency, on January 15, Chinese Premier Li Qiang met with Japanese Liberal Democratic Party Secretary-General Toshimitsu Motegi and Komeito Secretary-General Natsuo Yamaguchi in Beijing. Both sides agreed to jointly work towards the stable development of China-Japan relations. During the meeting, Motegi delivered a handwritten letter from Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba to Chinese President Xi Jinping. In the letter, Ishiba expressed his desire to visit China as soon as possible. This gesture demonstrates the positive attitude of Ishiba's government towards strengthening China-Japan relations. Previously, Ishiba had publicly stated multiple times that he looked forward to enhancing exchanges and cooperation with China. On January 14, Motegi and Yamaguchi also held meetings with Wang Huning, chairman of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, and Foreign Minister Wang Yi. According to a press release from the International Department of the Communist Party of China, Wang Yi mentioned that this year marks the 80th anniversary of the victory in the anti-Japanese war. He also emphasized that historical and Taiwan-related issues have attracted attention and urged Japan to be cautious on these sensitive issues to avoid actions that could harm bilateral relations. While expressing goodwill and cooperation, China made its firm stance on historical and Taiwan issues clear. Analysts believe that this is both a response to Japan's ruling party's goodwill and a way for China to draw red lines on core issues, reflecting its diplomatic principles and determination. News Report 8. According to Yiping News, the Taiwan Issue Research Center released a public opinion poll on January 15, showing the following results. 80% of respondents believe that if legislative members perform poorly, the people have the right to remove them from office. 55% of respondents consider the Kuomintang and Taiwan People's Party's efforts to amend laws to raise the threshold for removal to be unreasonable. 53% of respondents expressed dissatisfaction with the Kuomintang, while 41% expressed dissatisfaction with the Democratic Progressive Party legislators. The poll was conducted from January 10 to 11, surveying over 1,000 Taiwanese adults. At the same time, civil organizations across Taiwan are actively collecting signatures to promote the removal of certain legislators. Among them, the Weiguang Group in Hualien has collected 1,900 signatures, meeting the legal threshold of 1% of voters, enabling them to formally submit a petition to the Election Commission to remove Kuomintang Legislative Yuan Party Group leader Fu Kuan-chi. According to the election and recall law, the recall process consists of 2 stages. Stage 1, the number of signatures must reach 1% of the total voters in the constituency. Stage 2, the number of signatures must reach 10%. Once the number of signatures passes the second stage, the recall proposal will enter the voting procedure. If the proposal passes and gains majority support, the legislator will be removed from office. Analysts believe that this poll and the civil actions reflect voter dissatisfaction with the current legislator's performance, as well as high concern over the proposed changes to the recall threshold. News Report 9. According to China Times, the Mainland Affairs Council of Taiwan recently stated that for 4 consecutive years starting from the 2025 academic year, no Chinese students have come to Taiwan to study. Nevertheless, the Taiwanese government continues to welcome Chinese students and strives to create a friendly environment for them. The council pointed out that in order to enhance protections for Chinese students, Taiwan included Chinese students in the National Health Insurance Scheme in February 2022 and strengthened healthcare services for international students. However, since April 2020, mainland China unilaterally suspended students from studying in Taiwan, and this has not yet been resumed. The Mainland Affairs Council expressed regret and reiterated its hope for the resumption of educational exchanges between the two sides, injecting more vitality into academic and cultural exchanges. News Report 10. According to Hong Kong Commercial Radio, on January 15, Hong Kong's Secretary for Labor and Welfare, Sun Yuk-hon, announced several statistics at the Legislative Council reflecting Hong Kong's efforts to attract talent and promote economic development. Talent Introduction Program. In the past year, Hong Kong approved 270,000 people under various talent immigration programs, with 180,000 arriving for work, and an additional 170,000 dependents being attracted. These programs aim to fill the labor gap caused by population loss. Newborn Baby Rewards. Last year, the Hong Kong government distributed a reward of 20,000 Hong Kong dollars per newborn baby to 34,000 newborns. Meanwhile, 3,300 families applied for priority government housing allocation, and 210 families were approved. Tourist data. According to the Hong Kong Tourism Board, the number of visitors to Hong Kong last year reached 43 million, a 31% increase compared to the previous year. Mainland Chinese visitors numbered 34 million, up 27%, making them the main source of visitors. Visitors from the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and India followed, while numbers from Europe and the United States declined. News Report 11. According to Oriental Daily News, an in-hospital infection event occurred at Hong Kong's Wong Tai Sin Hospital on January 15, involving atypical influenza and Wuhan pneumonia, COVID-19. 8 patients in the same ward were infected, and one 60-year-old patient unfortunately passed away. The ages of the infected patients range from 42 to 85, with 6 confirmed cases of atypical influenza. The Hong Kong Center for Health Protection urges the public to stay vigilant and prevent the spread of diseases through vaccination, wearing masks, and frequent handwashing. Emergency control measures have been implemented to prevent further spread of the infection. News Report 12. According to Fuji News in Japan, the Japan National Tourism Organization estimates that foreign tourist numbers to Japan in 2024 will reach 36.87 million, a record high. Among them, South Korean visitors number 8.8 million, an increase of nearly 58% compared to 2019, ranking first. Chinese visitors totaled 7 million, recovering to 73% of the 2019 level, while Taiwanese visitors reached 6 million, a 24% increase from 2019. In 2024, foreign tourist spending in Japan also set a new record, reaching $52 billion. British tourists had the highest per capita spending at $2,450, followed by Australians at $2,443 and Spaniards at $2,360. Although the number of South Korean tourists was the highest, their average spending was $700. In contrast, Chinese tourists' per capita spending was significantly higher, with an average of $1,800 in the first half of 2024, far surpassing South Korean visitors. Japan continues to be a popular destination for Asian tourists, with significant growth and economic benefits contributed by visitors from South Korea, China, and Taiwan. News Report 13. According to World Journal, wildfires in California remain out of control, causing 25 deaths, 16 missing persons, and burning an area larger than San Francisco. The U.S. National Weather Service predicts strong winds from January 14 to 15 in northern Los Angeles, with wind speeds reaching up to 112 km per hour, accelerating the spread of the wildfire, and several areas being designated as high-risk zones. Currently, 8,500 firefighters are working to extinguish the fires, and firefighting aircraft operations are also being affected by strong winds. Public health officials in Los Angeles have advised residents to wear N95 or P100 masks due to harmful dust particles in the ash from the fires. The wildfires have caused immense suffering for residents in Los Angeles and surrounding areas, with many who lost their homes expressing their emotional pain as their lifetime investments and homes turned to ash. Despite this, many have shown resilience and a positive attitude, which is moving. We urge local residents to remain strong and encourage supporters to provide aid to disaster victims as much as possible. News Report 14. According to Rights Defense Network, on January 13, the wife of Chinese human rights lawyer Yu Wensheng, Su Yan, was released from prison and returned home in Beijing. Su Yan was arrested with Yu Wensheng in April last year while they were en route to attend a seminar during the visit of the European Union delegation to China. In October last year, the Suzhou Intermediate Court sentenced Yu Wensheng to 3 years in prison for inciting to subvert state power, and Su Yan was sentenced to 1 year and 9 months, a verdict widely considered harsh and unjust. Their 18-year-old son has been deeply affected by their arrest, suffering from severe depression and attempting suicide twice. To care for their son, Su Yan decided to drop the appeal and hoped to return home as soon as possible to support his physical and mental health. News Report 15. According to Australia's SBS television, a national survey of general practitioners' fees conducted by Clean Bill shows that in the past year, the average out-of-pocket cost for visiting a general practitioner in Australia rose by 4.1%, reaching $43.38, approximately $27. The increase in out-of-pocket medical costs is primarily due to the decline in the proportion of bulk billing services in Australia. Bulk billing is a payment method where patients do not pay at the time of the visit, and the doctor submits the bill directly to the government's Medicare system for reimbursement. However, because healthcare providers generally believe that government reimbursement rates do not cover their operating costs, more and more healthcare providers have reduced or stopped offering bulk billing services, leading to higher out-of-pocket costs for patients. The proportion of bulk billing has decreased from 24% to 20%. News Report 16. According to the BBC, on January 15, millions of devotees are gathering in the northern Indian city of Prayagraj to participate in the once-in-12-years Kumbh Mela. The Kumbh Mela is the largest religious gathering in the world, lasting 45 days, and this year, it is expected to attract about 400 million pilgrims. The Kumbh Mela draws millions of Hindus who gather at the confluence of 3 sacred rivers, the Ganges, the Yamuna, and the mythical Sarasvati, to bathe and cleanse themselves of their sins. This year's Kumbh Mela will last until March 4th, with over 400 million Hindu devotees expected to take part. To ensure the event runs smoothly, the Indian police have deployed 20,000 officers to maintain order. News Report 17. According to FinanceNet, a survey conducted by the Chinese University of Hong Kong in collaboration with 5 other universities shows that Hong Kong's Generation Z, aged 18 to 27, is facing severe mental health problems, including anxiety, depression, and trauma. The study found that 1 in 3 young people is experiencing symptoms of anxiety. The survey, which covered 10,000 Hong Kong residents, showed that emotional health, coping ability, and life positivity are lower among Generation Z compared to other age groups. International research shows that Generation Z has grown up in a relatively stable environment, with better economic conditions and fewer life setbacks. However, the COVID-19 pandemic posed significant challenges for this generation, and their levels of fear regarding the pandemic were notably higher than those of other age groups. These factors may be significant causes of the worsening mental health issues among Generation Z.